I healed myself from long COVID by doing these polyvagal exercises every single day, and so can you. I feel the need to emphasize that belief is crucial for this to work. If you approach this with skepticism, it may not work for you. The first most important exercise that I recommend to everyone is breathing exercises, but there is a specific way of doing them. Some know of this famous person called Wim Hof. I love his teachings. I think he's an amazing guy. I've seen all his apps, his books, and I love what he teaches about cold plunging and breathing exercises. But please do not attempt to do the breathing exercise that he recommends. He personally himself says that adrenaline is released while doing his exercises. Adrenaline is a hormone. It's a stress hormone to a stressful response from the nervous system. You don't want to activate your nervous system anymore. The type of breathing exercise that you should be focused on is slow and deep. And I'm going to explain some steps that are very important for your breathing practice. First, you want to set up a space where you will be doing these breathing exercises. You want to choose a place that can be dark. Choose music that helps you feel calm. I personally will look up meditation music on YouTube or Spotify and just pick a playlist that I enjoyed. I made sure that the room was dark to make sure I didn't get any sensitivity with the light. And your body position matters. So for me, because my POTS was severe and because my fatigue was also pretty bad, I made sure I laid down on a soft mat. Then I would close my eyes and start to do a body scan. I would feel for any tension in my body. I would look for any tense muscles. Sometimes you may not have that awareness, so purposely tense up your muscles, your shoulders while you're on the floor. Move your legs, your toes, wiggle your fingers. See what feels tight. When you find a place that feels really tense, try to let it go, relax. In my mind, I would talk to myself and say, "You're safe, you're safe, you're safe." And I would smile while doing this body scan. The first three components that are important is breathing and using your belly, smiling while inhaling, and when exhaling, making sure to blow air out through pursed lips. But the fourth one, this is an opportunity to start feeling joy while doing this practice. I know because you're suffering from so many different symptoms, debilitating symptoms, this can be the hardest part of your breathing practice, but probably one of the most important parts. I want you to imagine a memory in your past where you felt at peace, where you felt great. Maybe you felt powerful, you felt good, you felt healthy. I want you to imagine and go back to that memory. Close your eyes if you have to. Now that you're in that memory, ask yourself, what did you feel? What did you see? What did you smell? What was the environment around you? Who was around you? And then I want you to focus on how did you feel? You don't have to really put it into words. I just want you to really bring up those emotions that made you feel so good and joyful and strong and powerful and healthy. And while practicing this breathing exercise, I want you to go back to that memory and really imagine and feel those emotions while doing the breathing exercise. You will notice that the smiling becomes easier. The breathing starts to have a nice rhythm to it. And don't feel bad that in the beginning of your breathing practice, it feels awkward. It feels sticky. Sometimes you want to hold your breath. Sometimes it's hard to get into rhythm. That's okay. That's why it's called a practice. Have self-compassion to yourself. Give yourself and allow yourself to have time to settle into this practice. I personally had a lot of trouble with sticking to a rhythm because of my brain fog and my dizziness and my nausea was so severe. So what I recommend and something I did is download an app called iBreathe. I'm not sponsored. They don't pay me. I wish they did because I love the app. So this is the iBreathe app. We're inside the app. This is the homepage. You can click intervals and you can customize your intervals. So for example, at first I did 5 seconds inhale, 8-second hold, and 11 seconds exhale. My wife tried to do the same breathing intervals as I did, and it was way too long for her. She felt like she was going hypoxic. So there is no magical number, guys. Just make sure, your body is different than mine. Make sure you find an interval by trying it out and by failing, and that's okay, by trying different interval times. But you want to make sure that your exhale is longer than your inhale. And your hold doesn't have to be too long, but make sure there's a nice hold. It can be 2-3 seconds. Keep in mind your lung capacity will increase the more you do the breathing exercise, but that is not the goal of this exercise. Increasing lung capacity is not the goal. The goal is to be in a nice, soothing, calming rhythm so that you can communicate to your nervous system that this is safe, that you are in a safe place and that your body is safe. And when you click the actual breathe, I want to show you how it looks. When you click it, it will just say tap to start, has a countdown. Inhale. And there's a lady who tells you inhale, tells you when to hold, exhale, and tells you when to exhale. So you can have your eyes closed. You don't have to focus on anything but listening to the voice, and it will walk you through it. So I really believe that the breathing exercise is way more powerful than meditation. The next exercise I recommend, and it's going to be goofy and funny, and it may seem a little weird, is laughing yoga. You heard it right. It's not doing yoga poses and laughing. Laughing yoga is just that, laughing. Watching me do that felt awkward for you, didn't it? But that's how it's going to feel for you at first. And that's okay. This is the exercise that has helped me so much. I really put it on my gold standard exercise on this list. It's an amazing exercise, especially when I was personally going through pot-like symptoms. This one really reduced the symptoms tremendously, almost immediately. So don't underestimate the power of laughing yoga. A lot of people tell me they watch comedy shows and laugh at TV shows or movies, and that's good. That's very healthy and very good. But there's science coming out that the importance of just laughing, making yourself laugh for no reason. For some reason, that mechanism is different and provides some sort of healing. That's why laughing yoga is so unique, because you're not really laughing at any external stimulus. You're making yourself laugh. You're purposely putting yourself in an emotional state of joy. And that practice is so powerful. And I felt the effects pretty quick. After 1, 2, 3 sessions, I remember I started feeling some improvement. I knew I was working in the right direction. So please, I beg you, I know it seems crazy. I know you're like, how is this possible? But the laughing yoga works. I personally don't want to do laughing yoga videos for you guys. So I personally highly recommend someone on YouTube. Her name is Bianca Spears. It was just one video from her that I would just watch every single day. And I would just follow her and whatever her instructions were. The video that I would watch every day, I'll link it in the description. But keep in mind, you can YouTube anybody. There's other people that do it. Any video that you personally enjoy, watch those. The next exercise I highly recommend is gentle yoga. Because of my POTS, I couldn't really stand. And some of the yoga poses that you see on most apps, you stand and you have to bend over, touch your toes. If I did that, I would faint. So it's not something I could do. So personally for me, I would just sit on the floor and I would just stretch my hamstrings, my quadriceps, and just really make it a practice, make the room dark, and just enjoy this process. Your yoga should feel very similar to your breathing exercise, but now you're bringing your body into the picture. When you're holding those tough stretches, I would just focus on taking deep, slow breaths whenever those stretches really hurt. You know, your body becomes so tense from having long COVID and having such a nervous system that's tensing up your muscles without you even knowing. Make sure that this environment and space is a safe space for you. And the same visualization we did before, where you kind of brought those emotions, those positive emotions from the past, it's something you want to do here. You want to imagine as if you were reliving that memory in the past. You want to feel joy. You want to smile while doing the stretching. Sometimes it can be really hard. So you're holding the stretch, focus on your breathing, but once your muscle relaxes and you ease into it, then you can start smiling, force a smile, even if you don't feel like smiling, force a smile and bring up those positive emotions of joy, this emotion of feeling powerful, strong, and healthy. Really bring it, feel it, feel it, feel it. The next thing I would recommend is socialization or social engagement. You may not think this is an exercise, but it is. Some of you know you've tried to go to family events or family gatherings, even maybe small gatherings, and all your symptoms come back during the gathering or after the gathering. So some of you may be afraid of socialization. I recommend to make socialization a practice. I recommend doing it once a week, once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, once every 4 weeks, depending where you are and what your body can handle. But it's very important that when you do socialization, that you are socializing with a very small group of people and with only friends that you absolutely love. When I would spend time with friends, I would have no symptoms. It felt magical. I couldn't believe it. Then they would leave and my symptoms would relapse. And this is a big reason why most people stop socializing. And not only do they stop socializing, they're afraid to socialize. That's why it's important after these socializing events, you can rely on these other polyvagal exercises like the breathing, the laughing yoga, or the gentle stretching or the gentle yoga to help tell your nervous system, communicate to it, saying, hey, I'm safe. There's no danger. I'm safe. Everything's good. And this is an intentional practice. Once I learned about polyvagal and the importance of socialization and socializing with people that I am extremely comfortable with, I started taking a calendar and would hang out every weekend or every other weekend with certain people. I would call them or text them, or my wife would call and text them, and we made appointments. We made dates with people because I knew that the more time I spent socializing with these close friends, the more healing would occur. If you feel triggered or have any symptoms after socializing, remember you have a whole bunch of tools, these polyvagal exercises, as a method to communicate to your nervous system that you are safe. This one really isn't an exercise, but I think a lot of people don't practice it. And people that do always give me positive feedback on it. And that is listening to Disney music. Stephen Porges, the founder of the polyvagal theory, sells a specific type of music to calm the nervous system. It has a beautiful melody and it has someone singing in the background. That music comes close to the Disney style music. Sadly, the music from Stephen Porges, you can only get it through a therapist. Sadly, unless you have access to a therapist who is approved by Stephen Porges and has access to his music, you cannot use the music. The good news is that Stephen Porges' son recommends that if you don't have access to this music, that Disney music is very similar to the music that they sell. They have done the science behind this type of music and why it's so effective at calming the nervous system. Disney music is great because anywhere you are and you feel that there are places that you go that trigger your symptoms, you can listen to Disney music. And I think that's such an amazing gift. It's a very passive practice.
Hey, little finger, where are you? Here I am, how do you do?
It would take me back to my childhood and I would smile while listening to it and I would just feel good. And that inner child of me just came out and it was good. It was great. So I love this Disney music because of the access that anybody can have to it. You're going food shopping and feel triggered? Listen to Disney music. You're at home and somebody you don't like is over? Listen to Disney music. Your fatigue is very severe and you can't do anything else? Listen to Disney music. You're outside at some sort of gathering event? Listen to Disney music. It is important that you please smile. When you smile, even if you force yourself to smile, you are making your physical body communicate to your brain, hey, this is a good thing. Something positive is going on here. At first, you won't feel any different, but that doesn't mean you should stop. Keep smiling. And it took me several weeks for me practicing smiling for me to start feeling the effects. But not only is smiling alone very powerful, but when you combine smiling with visualization and purposely and intentionally feeling certain emotions, that becomes brain retraining. There are many complicated brain retraining programs out there, and there's different methods to using it. But there's a simple brain retraining exercise I was doing every single day, almost every hour. The beautiful thing about this exercise is that I could do it anywhere, and I did it a lot. This is the power of these three things: visualization, smiling, and feeling joy. I remember my wife would drive us places, we'd go grocery shopping, and I would feel the symptoms, or I just wasn't in the good mood. I would again smile, visualize something positive, and I would try to bring those positive emotions and feel that joy. Visualize a positive moment of your past. I remember it was a moment where I was running and I felt extremely powerful. I felt healthy. I felt fast. I felt good. My family was at the finish line and I just had this joy to go see them. So I remember that memory and I had all these emotions attached to that memory. During my visualization practice, I would remember these memories, but the most important part is remembering the emotions I felt during that memory. The more time you spend in that moment, the more healing occurs of the nervous system. Those are the exercises I did to heal myself from long COVID. I know some of you are thinking that this sounds too good to be true. It sounds simple. It sounds dumb. Sounds woo-woo. How is it possible that these simple exercises can cause healing? And the truth is that these exercises are extremely important in your healing recovery journey. But what makes this process very difficult is that many people want to just heal and cure themselves now. The way I see it is you are trying to balance a lot of plates. One plate is your mindset plate. The other plate is a self-talk plate. The other plate is self-love. And the other plate is polyvagal exercises, which this video is all about. And I've made videos on all these topics. So I'll link them down below so you can take a look at them. And you have to slowly start mastering each plate. And eventually you want to balance all these plates on your hands, on your body, and it's very difficult. So focus on one plate at a time. And the way you do that is by actually practicing it. If you haven't done polyvagal exercises consistently, start today. Start right now. Choose one that you like and start trying it out. Your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight or in shutdown mode. And the last thing your nervous system wants to do is breathe slowly, move, do yoga, breathing exercises, laugh. So it's important that at first it feels very forceful. I never woke up and felt, hey, today's the day I want to do a breathing exercise. Never. And a lot of people say, oh, I have to be gentle to myself. And yes, you do have to have self-compassion. But self-compassion allows you to do the exercises. If you love yourself and you want to get out of this hole of long COVID, you need to force yourself to do these exercises. Don't stress about how many times you do it. Don't stress about how long you have to do it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start doing them. That's it. Just start. Be gentle and ease yourself into it. But stay committed. Stick to a schedule that you feel you can really work with. Thank you for watching this video. She says that you should definitely subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you love this video, then you're definitely going to love these. Are they going to love the videos?
Yes.
Yes. Do you mind not eating? We're making a video. Right? They're going to love the videos?
Yes.
When we...